Hi my friends. So today is a chill day. I've pretty much been in bed all day. I have been watching films and documentaries. I've decided to give myself a little time in bed over Christmas and just rest a little bit, and it's been really nice, and today's been really chill. I've also been reading, and I've been reading one of the books that I got for Christmas, so I thought I would make a little books I got for Christmas video, because I normally do. This is being filmed on my phone and it is a no makeup day. I am in loungy clothes that I wear that are comfy, so we're just gonna have a chill, because I just think we all need a chill, and I just want to talk about the books that I got. So there is a definite theme in these books. They're all darker, horror-y, high fantasy-ish books, because I think I finally fully accepted that is where my brain is at right now, and that is everything that I want to read particularly. So yeah, I was very wonderfully gifted books for Christmas. I have one more book on its way that my sister-in-law and my brother have bought me, but it didn't arrive in time for Christmas because it was sold out, and that's The Year of the Witching, which I'm very excited to get. I've been wanting to have the physical copy of that since October, so I'm very excited. I have a new phone, so I'm filming on my phone because I didn't want to set up all my camera and everything, and I'm just sat on my bed with my Grogu blanket, here we are, and little Grogu himself. So he's going to sit in my lap while we talk about some books. Let's put him there. There we go. So the first book that I got is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. Now this is the third and final book in the Poppy War trilogy. And I have read the Poppy War, I have read the Dragon Republic. This is the third book. And I'm very excited to read it. I'm also terrified to read it a little bit because, I mean, if you've read the Poppy War and the Dragon Republic, you will understand why I'm terrified. I have some friends who have already finished The Burning God and loved it. I have some friends that are currently reading The Burning God and are very stressed. So we're going to take some time at some point in the new year to read The Burning God and finish the Poppy War trilogy. The Poppy War series is absolutely phenomenal. I cannot recommend it enough. It is a high fantasy series based on the Second Sino-Japanese War, and it follows Rin, who wants to get into this highly prestigious school called Singard, but then when she gets there, things are a little bit different to how she expected. No one expected her to get there, and then she realized that she has this power and she can talk to the gods, and it's insane. And then it just does this complete 180, and then but it's phenomenal. I absolutely love it, and honestly, it's so good, and the things that it focuses on and what it talks about is so important. So buzz to read the next one. Then we have June by Frank Herbert, and let me tell you, I don't know much of what this book's about, but the reason why I want it is because my Lord and Saviour Zendaya is in the movie adaptation of this book. So I would like to read this book first so that I can kind of understand the movie a little bit more, because I will inevitably be distracted by Zendaya because she is queen. So this is a series of books. This is the first book. I didn't realize it was a series. I did think it was just a standalone. The spice Melange is the rarest and most valuable element in the universe. It does everything from increasing a person's lifespan to making interstellar travel possible. I want some. And it can only be found on a single planet, the inhospitable desert world Arrakis. Whoever controls Arrakis controls the spice, and whoever controls the spice controls the universe. See, it sounds very interesting. I put off this book for a really long time because I did a really bad thing and judged it by its cover, which don't do. And then I watched the trailer for the film and thought it looked really good, so I was like, okay, I would like the book, please, someone, for Christmas, and here it is. I'm very excited to delve into it. And then if I like it, I will continue with the series, which is very cool. Then we have American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Now, unpopular opinion, I have struggled to get on board with Neil Gaiman books. I have read Coraline, which I did love, and I have read Stardust, but some of his bigger books I have always struggled with. And the reason why I think I have struggled is because I was not in the correct mindset to properly accept a Neil Gaiman book. Now, my reading tastes over the last year and a bit have really expanded and really changed, and I think I'm going to make a whole video about how my reading has changed and how I'm approaching reading now, because it's definitely changed as a thing, and I am a completely different reading human than what I was this time 2 years ago. And I'm really happy about that, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's been so nice to expand my horizons and read so much more, and read from authors who I didn't originally click with, but find I've loved them and find that I've enjoyed the stories a little bit more. So Neil Gaiman is one of them, and I wanted to give American Gods a go because I have a friend who loves this book and we have really similar tastes, and see if I click with Neil Gaiman this time around. And this focuses on Shadow, who has done his time in prison. After 3 years, he is finally being let out, and all he wants to do is go home to his wife Laura and kind of get his life back on track. Days before his release, Laura and Shadow's best friend are killed in an accident, and Shadow then finds he has nothing to kind of ground him, nothing to go back to, so he takes a job from this elusive stranger on his way home. That is all I really know about American Gods, but it does sound really interesting and definitely sounds like something up my street at the moment, like with how my reading has changed. So I'm very excited to read this one. Then I got a shit ton of Stephen King books. Now, I have an interesting relationship with Stephen King because I really like the stories that he writes. Personally, I think that Stephen King books could be so much shorter than they are. Like, I do think that some of the books are just so expanded to the point where I think you don't need this. Like, this book doesn't need anything in it. I read it a few years ago, and half of that book just didn't need to exist, and also half of that book was just so weird, and I don't understand why he put half of it in and how it made it to print, but here we are. But Stephen King's books have always been something I wanted to read more of. I found that whenever I've seen the movie adaptations, I really enjoyed them, and I really love The Shining, and The Shining was my first Stephen King book, and I love Dr. Sleep, and I loved that follow-up. There is a couple of things that he does as well, which I wish he wouldn't do, but overall, Stephen King books are something that I do want to read a bit more of because I really like kind of the themes of the stories that he tells. So I got 11/22/63. It's set in 2011, and there's a English teacher called Jake who wants to go back in time to stop the assassination of JFK, which I find very interesting. Jake is also from Maine, and I do think Stephen King should realize that other states exist. But there we go. Then I have Needful Things, which is about a new kind of store that has popped up in Maine, and it is run by a stranger, and no one really knows what it is and where it's come from and the stuff in it, and there's a little bit more to the shop and the things than what immediately meets the eye. Then we have Bag of Bones, and I really love these covers that they've done. I wish I had all of them in these covers. They're really nice. This starts off again in Maine, actually in Derry, which is not a real place in Maine. That is made up. So I thought that was quite interesting because I read the first page of it when I got it. The main character's wife goes to fill in a prescription, and the next time he sees her is in a morgue, essentially. And he kind of wants to get out of town to kind of put all of that behind him and try and sort of move on and deal with his grief. And then it's what happens when he's out of town, what I believe. This is a Stephen King book I hadn't heard much about, but I got it with some vouchers that I got for Christmas, and I'm very excited to read it. Then we have The Stand, which is massive, and this is a book I'm currently reading. I am 4 chapters into it so far. I am really liking it so far. It is about an outbreak of a disease, and kind of patient zero and how it spreads, which, you know, is a little bit close to home right now. And I didn't know if it would be such a good idea to read it, but I'm doing okay with it so far. I am not particularly a massive fan of some of the language that Stephen King uses. I don't know if it's necessary for him to use the N-word as much as he does. You are a white man, you don't need, you know, but the actual plot and the premise I am enjoying, and I'm enjoying the kind of like exploration of disease and how disease spreads, and kind of patient zero, and how just that one guy being able to like escape where the disease started and how that's just spread amongst people. I think that's really interesting. This is an extended version, which I didn't know was the one I would be getting. So it is like 1,300 pages. So I'm going to be reading this one for a little while, but I am enjoying it. I've read a little bit more today. I'm going to read a bit more this evening. And then I will document my Stephen King journey, which is very exciting because I'm delving into a lot of his books that I haven't particularly heard of before, so I am excited for that. Then I got Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This has been a book which I heard about on BookTube a very long time ago, and I just never got around to reading it because while it sounded really cool, I just knew that the way that I read back then, I wouldn't have done the book justice being able to read it. I just wouldn't have given it the time and the appreciation that I think it's going to deserve. And this is really cool. Bits of this book are written in epistolary form. It's got articles, it's got transcripts, it's got like newspaper clippings, all of that. The body of Ashley Cordova is found in a Manhattan warehouse, and originally it is ruled as a suicide, but investigative journalist Scott thinks otherwise, and he decides to look a little bit closer into this case at the risk of his own sanity. And I've heard nothing but good things about this book. It is so many people's favorite book. Like, so many people I know just absolutely rave about this book. So my brother and my sister-in-law got me a copy, and I'm so excited to read it. And then finally I got The Shadows by Alex North. Now this is a book I bought with some vouchers I was given for Christmas. This is a book that I don't know particularly too much about, but I saw it in the bookstore, and I am really excited to delve into it. You knew a teenager like Charlie Crabtree, a dark imagination, a sinister smile, always on the outside of the group. Some part of you suspected he might be capable of doing something awful. 25 years ago, Crabtree did just that, committing a murder so shocking that it's attracted that strange kind of infamy that only exists in the darkest corners of the internet and has inspired more than one copycat. Paul Adams remembers the case all too well. Crabtree and his victim were Paul's friends. Paul has slowly put his life back together, but now his mother, old and suffering from dementia, has taken a turn for the worse. Though every inch of him resists, it's time to come home. It's not long before things start to go wrong. Paul learns that Detective Amanda Beck is investigating another copycat that has struck in the nearby town of Featherbank. His mother is distressed, insistent that there's something in the house and someone is following him, which reminds me of the most unsettling thing about that awful day 25 years ago. It wasn't just the murder, it was the fact that afterwards, Charlie Crabtree was never seen again. So this sounds very cool. Now, something I've never properly spoken about is that I'm really interested in true crime. I did psychology at uni. I did a psychology undergrad, and then I did an educational psychology master's. But with educational psychology, we still did aspects of it, but mainly for my undergrad, we did so much on criminology, and the psychology of crime is very interesting to me and something which I do find very interesting. I watch a lot of cases, I watch a lot of documentaries, and I do think that we've always had kind of a morbid curiosity as humans. I think we all want to, there's something that it's just interesting about that, and the fact that some people are capable of committing such awful acts. So I am very interested in The Shadows and what it's going to be. I think it is genuinely going to be a crime. I don't know if there's a supernatural element to it, but I'm excited either way because both of those things are very exciting. So yes, The Shadows. Yeah, so that is the books that I got for Christmas. I feel very lucky. I'm very grateful. Like I said, there's definitely some kind of theme going on here, but I'm very excited to delve into them and see how much I love them. And I'd love to know if you guys would like to see me kind of document my journey with the way that my reading taste has changed, with adventuring into newer authors that I haven't read much of before, and kind of that more crime and darker element. I would love to know. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things. So if you want to stick around and join, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. And as usual, all the links to all my other social medias and also my Stranger Things podcast are in the description down below. The podcast is on break for Christmas, but in January we are coming back with different videos and also more podcast episodes as well. So if you want to go follow our YouTube channel, it is Hawkins Do You Copy, and there will be the podcast episodes on there, but also more videos as well that are Stranger Things-y related and that kind of thing. I'd love to know the books that you guys got for Christmas. I'd also love to know if you guys have read any of these. I hope you guys are doing really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.